How's it going, everybody? Well, it's Carpo here. In this video I'm going to hope to address an issue that I've found to be kind of important, but that I don't really talk about much anymore, which is the whole issue of conspiracy and distrust of everyone that goes on the internet, YouTube, elsewhere. It's become an internet sensation. You know, there was always paranoia, there were always conspiracies, and many of these are true. I came across an article that really explained my point of thinking better than I ever could, and so I'm going to post a link to that in the descriptions. The idea here that I'm trying to convey is that conspiracies do happen. The Gulf of Tonkin incident taking us into Vietnam, Pearl Harbor, possibly components of 9/11, you can go on and on down the list of possible conspiracies. What has happened is that has created such an air of distrust, especially since all of this came out to the masses over the past 20 years with the internet. What exactly do we believe anymore? The reason I'm addressing this is because there was that shooting the other day of that reporter, and my mom asked me, "Have you heard? Did you hear about the reporter that got shot on live TV?" And I said no. So I went and I looked it up on YouTube and watched the video, and then watched the video from the shooter's point of view, and then read the comments. And the entire comments section was full of, "This is a false flag. This is another, way for them to take our guns. Yada yada yada." I've been hearing this for 20 years since I read "Behold a Pale Horse" in I think '96. And it blew my mind, and I thought the government was going to take away all our guns back then. This is 20 years ago, and that I spent a decade or more trying to, quote, wake people up to the fact that there's so much tyranny going on. Over the last 2 decades, I've realized that the power that these people have is only the amount of power that we're willing to give to them. If folks believe that people have the power to set everything up, that they own the entire media, that they own everything, and that everything you hear is a lie, you've disempowered yourself. You've created an illusion that they have more power than they do, and they can sit on the sidelines and snicker. And when I say they, I'm talking about the bankers and the corrupt politicians. What we've done is we've labeled everything and lumped them all together. That if you're a politician, you're corrupt. You're a crook. If you're a banker, you're a crook. And we've put lines of division here among society, between ourselves, and I think that has to change, and we have to realize that while many conspiracies happen, it doesn't mean that every shooting has a purpose in a conspiracy. Now, this shooting that happened with these people, these reporters, my question that I ask to those who believe it's a conspiracy is always the same. I say, what is the end game of the conspiracy? Because you can't just say that everything is a false flag attack. Because I've been hearing this from every shooting for the last 10 years on the internet, that it's a false flag, that they're going to take our guns away, they're going to take our guns away. And I think, don't you give a little bit of credit to the people who can organize and orchestrate these things to think that they could do a better job? Perhaps maybe somebody could come forward with an assault rifle and take out an entire crowd or something, rather than just one reporter that was obviously a person who had an issue. Anyway, without getting too much into the details, because I don't know, perhaps it was, but my point is this: what is the end goal? And this is what I always ask people, and they say they're trying to take our guns away. Say, tell me, please explain to me why today there are more guns in the U.S. than there have ever been, and why every year there continue to be more and more guns, more assault rifles, and more ammunition, and every one of these supposed false flags to take our guns has ended just the same way. It just fades into the woodwork every time. And it makes me wonder what people really think the end game is here. Is it to strip you of your rights? Or something deeper? Does it even matter? I'm trying to convey this without sounding like I don't care, because I do care. The average person's never going to be able to distinguish between something that's a complete setup and something that's just happened, such as a shooting like this, merely by watching YouTube videos and reflecting off of each other. We have to start thinking critically. And the reason why it's important is because there really are events going on that we need to address, that we need to tackle things that we actually can handle. And I feel like we're trying to tackle things that we can't handle, things that people can't prove or can't know for sure, because it's easier than actually taking initiative and doing something, such as helping your community or helping people in need. And so I think we need to start thinking a little bit smaller, instead of throwing everything into this grand conspiracy and just complaining about it, to take action and do something about it. So I guess I'll just leave it at that. Hope you all have a great day.